today's topics, I just want to talk about dosing, so supplement dosing and supplement timing, because it comes up all the time because different people are in different spots of their plans. But from a dosing standpoint, when I'm writing your individual plans, with some things, there's doses that I know everyone will get to and everyone will be able to do. But then with other things, there's dosing that I lay out that is a goal dose in my mind, and then we figure out who can make it there and who can't. So, for example, if you're doing something to support optimal liver biotransformation, which is the fancy word for detox, there's potential that being aggressive there could create symptoms. It's a much higher potential than if I just give you a multivitamin, right? Or if you have gut dysbiosis and we're using natural antimicrobials, there's a higher probability that someone has symptoms with that than if I give them high dose B vitamins or something. So
Hmm.
with, say, liver support or gut antimicrobials, I'm laying out your plan with, hey, I hope they get to this dose and we'll see. But if they don't, it's not a failure. It's just this is goal, and anything less than goal is reality. And we do,
Hmm.
if reality is less than goal, then we do reality for longer than we would have done goal, because I set you up to basically I provide you with enough to do goal in the time limit we have. If you do less than goal, then it'll last you a little bit longer than, say, 12 weeks or whatever we're working at. So um, oftentimes people call me and say, hey, I can't get up to, one packet of X makes me feel nauseous. And my goal dose for them is 3 packets of X. Well, okay. My first question is, can you function? If it's yes, then keep pushing. Okay. Because sometimes the symptoms you have are just transient, like 3 or 4 days. Like, for example, if we're doing liver uh, detoxification, so to speak, the analogy is it's like you're cleaning out your pipes, and sometimes cleaning out your pipes, when you're knocking the rust and the gunk off, that's a re-exposure while you're clearing it out of the body. So sometimes you've got this transient re-exposure or retox, right? If it's a GI dysbiosis type of presentation, well, then it's a die-off, as some call it, or maybe it's biofilms or something. So push through a couple days. If it clears up, cool. That's what it was. Um, if you can function, good. Keep pushing. Go to where you can't function, and then step down, and that's the optimal functional dose for us. Okay. And if that optimal functional dose isn't the goal dose, you didn't fail. All right. It's just there's no failure. There's only feedback, right? So you didn't fail. We just learned that your body can function at this level, not this level. Okay, who cares? We know what's best for you to function at, and that we ride that out longer. Make sense? And then if another question we could ask is, well, did you take it with food or not with food? Because sometimes, you read through my recommendations and there's a couple, a few things to do. So you may forget, oh, I thought that was without food and it should have been with food. So that's an easy fix. Or if the timing can be different based on the strategy. So there's some supplements say that I want you to take with the first bite. There's some that I want you to take with the last bite, and then the rest are like just take with a meal, right? And so the first bite, last bite, I'm going to tell you obviously in the instructions. The other ones I say take 2 X times a day with a meal. Um, well, it's come up that sometimes when someone reacts to something, maybe they're taking it too early in the meal so that it goes down kind of first or with the first bite. And maybe that's not enough, say, stuff or bulk to prevent symptoms from happening. So if you move that supplement, say, later in the meal, so take 3, 5 bites first, then send it down. Now you don't have symptoms because it's kind of buffered with bulk down there. So that's another strategy is I took X, I'm reacting. Okay, well, um, did you take it with food when you're supposed to? Yes. When? First bite. Okay, well, let's push it later in the meal or to the end of the meal and see if bulk helps delay symptoms. Um, yes. Okay, solved. No, I'm still having symptoms. Okay, well, what's the max amount you can take? If it's one of the strategies where I'm building you over time and you're having symptoms later, what's the max you could take before symptoms hit in? Oh, one step down. Okay, we'll do that and do that for longer. So don't think that you're failing if you're having symptoms. Some of the symptoms might just be part of the cleaning out process. And then otherwise, there's things we can fine tune in terms of timing in the meal, or perhaps reality for your body isn't equal to goal in my mind, and that's fine. We do what's reality and go from there. Well, that's the nugget for today, because that's a common question from people who are new, right, as they start implementing each part of the plan.
I'm like super pumped. I cannot wait because I just want to. I feel like I've been really trying hard. I'm so proud of myself because I was working till like 9:30 at night. And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to stop. I'm going to set boundaries and I'm going to be done by a certain time of the day. And I don't get on my devices. The goggles have helped me tremendously. I don't know, it just helps me just to chill, wind down. And it's that hour. I didn't realize I wasn't giving myself that hour for my brain to shut down.
Yeah.
And I sleep so much better now.
Awesome.
I mean, I was waking up at like 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30 every hour on the hour night. Sometimes I didn't go back to sleep, and I would be awake from 2:30 on, and I get up at 5. So, that was terrible. And now I go to bed 9:15, 9:30, and I sleep till about 4:30. And sometimes 5, or when my alarm goes off, and I'm like, oh, this is heaven.
Excellent.
So that's a really good change for me. I have lost 14, 15 pounds, and my energy level's starting to get better. It's not 100%, but it's definitely better than what it was. I will tell you, when I left your office that day, I was quite emotional because I realized that I knew I had issues, but I thought I was doing well. You know what I mean? And so I have shared my story with so many people, and I just cannot wait to see what has happened in 6 weeks, because so many people have been so interested in my case, because they know in 5 years I have looked and I have pushed, and people have said, Rebecca, I don't know how you've done it. I mean, I would go to work half dead, and I looked terrible one day, and that one girl said, I don't know why you're here. And I said, because it keeps me feeling like I'm normal. I've got this mind over matter. I have to keep pushing. And because I'm not one to sit down. That's not my personality. And so I'm very thankful Bree gave me your name. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen towards the end.
Yeah. Well, that's all wonderful testimonial. Thank you. And I'm excited too. So we should probably by the end of this week have results, of early next week be sitting down to talk about them.
Okay.
So the second I get them,
okay.
Staff will call you and schedule a sit down.
Perfect.
And
okay.
in the meantime, that's awesome. And you didn't mention your tongue. How's the tongue?
Yes, it's good. It's staying considerably down. Some days it looks a little bit inflamed, but most days it's like looks normal, and I'm like, this is crazy. It hasn't been this way in 5 years. I mean, I'm serious. My tongue used to be huge. I wish I could just show y'all pictures. I mean, I think I did show you, Dr. Bartemus, but my tongue was massive. I mean, they would keep me in ICU because they didn't know what to do for me. They were like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to keep you in ICU because we don't know if we're going to have to intubate you. And I'm telling them what's going on with me, and I'm teaching everybody else what's wrong with me. And they're like, this is insane. And I'm trying to teach all these people. I'm like, y'all, I have been researching. Somebody's got to help me. And they couldn't get my tongue to go down.
Yeah. And so here we are. It's down. You can talk.
I mean, it was huge. Yeah. I mean, it was huge.